Hello and welcome to the 13th episode of the PS Premier podcast. I'm your host, James Smith, and today I'm joined by a great panel, including Dory.
Hi, I'm Dory. Go by she, her. You can find me on Twitter at dclaire192, and pretty soon you'll find me on Twitch as well, where I will start streaming Resident Evil 7. Bam.
Hey.
Mitch.
Hi, I'm Mitch. You can find me on Twitter at MitchUp1012. That's pretty
And Seb, what are you doing here?
All right, I came back. I figured it out, so I'm not going to be the host anymore, but I think James would be better at it. But I'll be the host if I have to, like if I have to step in 1 week or whatever. So that's not a problem. You can follow
Appreciate it.
You can follow me at littleseb93 on Twitter.
Great. So now we've got that out of the way. Dory, I heard a rumor that you finished Hades.
Wow. Okay. Is this a reference to the
Umbrella
Academy?
I don't know. I haven't seen that, so no. But if you
okay.
want, sure,
There's literally a character who has the power to make someone do something by saying, "I heard a rumor." So I heard a rumor.
Right.
And this is the second time you made this joke on this podcast, but okay.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. I'm so sorry to repeat listeners. Anyway. Yes, so I did beat Hades last week, and now I can stop talking about it all the time, but it was a great story. I reached the credits, I guess I should say, because you never really beat Hades. There's an epilogue, I think, and there's lots of side stories that you can still do after credits are done. But anyway, fantastic game.
So you're still playing it, or?
I want to go back at some point, but I'm so hyped about playing Resident Evil 7 and Plague Tale that I just want to get to that instead. And plus, I haven't really been using my PS4 for gaming lately, so I want to get back into that. For me, anyway, like I got what I wanted. I got the main storyline completed, which is when credits happen, and so I felt satisfied. Plus, I put over 40 hours in it, which is for a video game that's not Kingdom Hearts, a lot for me.
Yeah.
So I feel very satisfied with the gameplay loop and where I'm at. But I mean, I might go back to it once cross saves become a thing. I might start playing it on my Switch Lite, which would help.
All right. You been playing anything else, or just that?
I have been playing. I did start up Plague Tale, but I didn't actually start playing it. I was going to, but then I ended up having dinner and blah blah blah. And I've been playing a little bit of Spiritfarer. I finally got tired of it at 10 hours. So my partner is actually playing it in the background. And I think that's all I've been playing. Finished up Hades, playing Spiritfarer. I've been really busy with school lately and D&D. So
Great. Okay. What about you, Mitch? Been playing anything?
Yeah. I've also been busy with final exams, but in my off time, I've been playing some more Ghost of Tsushima before the update. Yeah. Before the update, and as well as some Bloodborne. I'm finally getting back into that, and I'm big thing. I do not suck, and I found out how to get past the whole cathedral area.
Bold words. Is it possible to learn this power?
Wait, this is your first? Is your first time playing it?
A lot of. It's my first actual playthrough, yeah, but I played it years back, and then I put it down, and then finally picked it back up. But yeah, I'm determined to finish it this time without deleting the game off my hard drive for space. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Great. Seb, what about you? You played anything this week?
I haven't played much this week, but I guess I'll just combine the last 2 weeks. I played Man of Medan. It was pretty good. Right on the short side. I platinumed Modern Warfare, which was pretty easy, and then I've been playing Vampire a little bit. It's okay. It's kind of a soul. It's kind of a lesser Souls game.
That's right. I also played Vampire. Thank you, Seb. I thought I was forgetting something. I played a couple of hours of Vampire and quickly grew tired of it.
Is it pronounced Vampire? I thought it was pronounced Vampire.
It's Vampire.
I don't know. But I just call it Vampire. I never saw anyone pronounce it the other way. Anyway, sorry to take that from you, Seb.
No, it's fine.
I want to say I've also have played it. I grew tired of it. I did not like the combat at all. But I did like the story, and I liked where it was going. I couldn't stay along for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to get into, so I can't get motivated to turn it back on.
Yeah.
And in terms of Bloodborne, I have the platinum twice. So.
Oh, twice.
Yeah, on 2 different accounts.
Quit bragging.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Anyway,
How's bragging town? How's bragging camp going?
it's doing well. I think next week I'm gonna play Ghostbusters. So that's this weekend. I'm gonna start.
Ghostbusters. Don't do that. We'll get copyright strikes.
Oh no!
Maruni.
Move on to the next segment, James.
Okay. Well, actually, I just wanted to jump in quickly and say that I've been playing the second weekend of the Call of Duty beta, which they added a new mode called Fireteam Dirty Bomb. That's right. Have you been playing it, Mitch?
I have. I do not like that mode at all.
You don't like it?
I do not like it.
I'm not as hot on it as I am on VIP Escort, but I think there's something quite fun about it. Like, it's a little annoying.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, the way it works is you've got 10 different squads in the match, and it's kind of like a mini wars. The way one of my friends described it was like a Tesco Value Warzone. Like
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, so I mean, and it does kind of feel like that. So you're in these separate squads and you have to compete to fill these dirty bombs with the uranium and then detonate them. But the annoying thing is you can be the one who fills them up with the uranium, and then somebody else can come along and detonate them and get the points, which is a little annoying.
Yeah, I think for me though, it's really a case of, because on paper it sounds fun as hell, but I mean, it might have just been the a few matches I played, but I think it kind of falters in execution just because of how big the maps are. Like, there's a lot of, for me when I was playing, there was a lot of times where I'd just be running without any interaction for like a good 20 odd seconds, and I think usually in a game like COD that'd be fine, for Warzone obviously, but I think the way the mode is laid out, like, it's very objective based and very fast paced, but then you have these big open maps where nothing can happen for long stretches of time. It kind of grated on me, but I'm definitely going to give it a second chance when I can before the weekend is over.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did really enjoy the one map that was on like a ski resort. I thought that was quite interesting. Yeah. And I like how the bikes and everything feel to control. I think there is something there. Maybe they can alter it to make it better, because there are some flaws to it. Anyhow, this week we put up a poll. It's almost like we do that every week. I don't know.
it's like a segment or something.
I know, it was. God, that's mad. But this week the poll was about Dreams. So I asked people on Twitter, have you played Dreams PS4? And if so, what do you mostly use it for? Now, 37% of people said that they use it to play the games other people have created. 5% of people said that they use it to create games on their own. 32% said they want to play it, and 26% said they have no interest in playing it. I'm honestly, there was a while there where nobody voted for create, and I was surprised to see some people actually voted that, because I can't wrap my head around creating stuff in that game. Now, I think
I think the thing with me though is that because I don't usually like to create games like that. I'm more of the play category. But then at the same time, I feel like if I bought Dreams and didn't use the create tools, I'd kind of not be wasting it, but like I'd feel like I wouldn't have given the game its proper due diligence and time of day. But,
yeah, I get that, but the way they described it when it was coming out was just like, it's like YouTube for video games. And I like that philosophy, because that's like, you don't have to be good at creating things. You don't have to be interested in creating things to enjoy the game. Because, I mean, it is limitless content for free. Well, not for free, sorry, for 35 quid or whatever the buy-in is. And it's nuts to me that anyone would pass that up. Including the three of you, apparently, because none of you have it, I believe.
No.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to go on sale. Yep. Go ahead.
I do. Yeah. I do have a question though, James. I'm guessing you do have the game.
I do. Yes, I play it regularly.
How is the community there? Because I think one of the things I was apprehensive about Dreams at first is that if the community is too small, then the content pool will naturally wither over time, and if the community is small and no one's really creating stuff, then the game's going to sort of die out.
Well, what's interesting is like there is a surprising amount of people making new games for it, even at this point. And like we're at that point now where the game's been out long enough that the games that are on it are starting to get bigger and more fleshed out and just better in general. Like I played, I played something. A lot of the stuff is original, but I played a recreation of some Call of Duty World at War custom zombies maps. Because if you remember back in the day, when Call of Duty World at War sort of came out and was popular, on PC there was a big modding community for zombies maps, and people made their own zombies maps, and there was a lot of really popular ones. But obviously you can play those on console because there's no modding on console. And somebody made some of these maps in Dreams, and like they're actually pretty close to the real thing. Yeah.
Damn.
So that's a lot of fun, you know. So I mean, just in general, like I said, it's nuts to me that anybody would pass that, because you've got that and you've got you know, like new original creations, because there's a lot of good stuff. And obviously it's like YouTube where the best stuff sort of gets floated to the top. So like I assumed there would be a lot of junk most of the time, but even just jumping in the other day to see what was new, like there was a lot of everything that I played was fantastic. It was really good.
Yeah. So I was interested in the game, but I don't know. I always felt kind of unsure of myself of like how much I wanted to play it and how much I didn't. It seemed interesting. I think if they offered it as PS Plus, I'd probably do it. But otherwise, I don't have a strong enough interest.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to me that they don't have
PS Plus title.
Yeah, but it's amazing to me they don't have any sort of monetization outside of buying the game, though, is the thing. Which is why I don't think it'll go on PS Plus anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say if it did have monetization, though, that'd be like a whole controversy, because, you know, people would start accusing them of monetizing creation tools. And then,
definitely.
You know,
I mean, maybe they put ads in it like YouTube. I mean, who knows, right?
Or 2 ads or 3 ads, who knows?
Yeah, but I do want to say that there is a demo, so if anyone's interested in checking it out, you definitely should. I don't think we talk about Dreams enough on this show.
No, like I said, my concern with the game is it's made for me, and then I'm gonna be playing like 12 hours a day into that game. Of just because I love to create things, so I won't play a game for the rest of the year. So my PS5 would collect dust and so.
Oh well, I mean, I'd still worth checking out at some point, maybe on a down month or something like that. Anyhow, what came out today on the day of recording, Ghost of Tsushima Legends. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to play it yet. I don't think you have. Have you? No?
Sadly,
okay.
I've wanted to.
I played a couple hours of it. I played it just before we started recording. And you know, I was surprised like how well it sort of fits into that Ghost of Tsushima core experience. Like it feels like it was made for co-op, right?
Okay.
So you've got 4 classes, right? You've got Samurai, Hunter, Assassin, and Ronin, and they all have different sort of abilities. You know, you've got your Hunter as the bow and arrow character, and then you've got your Assassin, Samurai, self-explanatory, and the Ronin, which sort of heals your teammates and everything like that. But the interesting, like, I can't believe this update is free, right? Because it's actually so vast. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's a full story which is like 7 missions long, so more than that maybe, I don't know. There's a survival mode. There's like loads of cosmetics and skill trees and that sort of thing. Like there's a lot of content here, and I was surprised as well, even jumping into the game and playing some of it. I jumped in with a random to play one of the story missions, just some random guy, and I was actually amazed, like the amount of coordination that we had, even though we couldn't speak to each other. Like just this person I'd never talked to before, and we are like going through this mission, taking out like enemies in sync, you know? Like you take out that guy, I'll take out this guy, just at the exact same time, you know, with a bow and arrow, we're just getting up behind them, and like it worked really well. So I was surprised at that, because I knew it'd be a lot of fun playing with friends, but even if you're not, I guess it's probably going to be a lot of fun, because you can still be quite coordinated, you know?
What are the missions like? Like what's the missions? Like how does the story work and everything?
I've only played one story mission at a time, but it's the tone is a lot different from the regular base game. It's a lot more sort of, there's a narrator, and he's sort of narrating over everything that you sort of do, because it's like he's telling like a tale, you know, because in the main game they have those tales, those legends where you go and you get the special abilities and that sort of thing. So I guess it's kind of like supposed to be one of those where this guy is telling the tale of these people and you're playing through it. and it's all sort of red, and the tone is very dark and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much how it plays out, and it's pretty good because it's like each story mission has a set number of chapters, and it's basically you're going through. It's a lot more linear, obviously, than the open world main game. So you're going through these chapters, and you're taking out enemy bases and these sort of set out enemy pathways and that sort of thing.
Yeah, how's the camera on like the gameplay? Like being around somebody else? Is it the same?
It's like it plays just like the main game, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, like they do a really good job of letting you coordinate with other players. Like you've got you can do sort of emotes, and you can say things like thanks and that sort of thing, and you can mark enemies. So a lot of the things I was doing with this guy that I was playing with was I was marking one enemy when there was two enemies next to each other. I was marking one as to say, hey, you take out this guy, and then at the same time we'd take them both out at the same time, and it works really well. Just that. Yeah. So you guys interested in playing that at all?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a gameplay reel up for that. What were you said?
I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure if I'm really ready to go back yet. I got other games to play.
I was definitely done with the game, but I think I'll play this quite a lot because it's a surprising amount of content. It's surprisingly different as well, but it fits in so well.
It's free real estate.
Yeah. Before you move on, like, does your character carry over, or is it like?
No, it's different characters. Different characters entirely. Okay. It's not. You're not playing as Jin or anything like that.
Can you upgrade weapons and stuff, or does it? Yeah.
So there's levels, and you can. There's a skill tree. You can get new abilities and so on. And once you pick one character off the bat, and then once you've leveled that one up enough, you can pick another one. Okay. So I went with the archer off the bat, which was a lot of fun because they give you a tutorial to start with, so you can test out all of them, and then you pick.
Okay. I will, before we move on, I know that there was also an update for the main game. Have you played the main game at all since then, or have you mainly focused on Legends?
I haven't touched it, no, just Legends.
No, okay. And I'd say it's obvious, but have you touched the photo mode options for Legends? Because I know I haven't. A big deal out of.
I actually haven't, because I was sort of focused on doing that one mission that I played, and obviously it's multiplayer, so you can't pause it. So I feel like to actually utilize photo mode in Legends, you'd have to play with a friend and have them stand still and pose for you. Do sort of a modeling shoot. But yeah, Seb, you have been playing Genshin Impact, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of this as well. This is sort of like a game that is like an MMO that everyone thought looked very much like Breath of the Wild. Yeah. But it's not, is it?
No, it's a gacha game. It's basically it's a free to play game, but you can buy items to help you level faster and things like that. But it's totally up to you. You don't really have to do that at all, though, if you really enjoy the game. So the first thing that jumps out at you at the game from the game is that it looks like Breath of the Wild, obviously, like the art style and the cell shading and things like that. But the character models look nothing like Breath of the Wild. It looks like it's very anime. It is a Chinese game, I believe.
Yes.
And so basically, you play as all different characters. You don't get to customize your character, which kind of disappointed me. I kind of wanted to make my own guy and everything. But so basically, it's kind of like an MMO because you pick a quest and then you just walk toward the waypoint, and then you do it's kind of like Zelda in a way that you go in like a dungeon kind of thing, and then at the end of it you unlock a character and then they can join your party. And there's a mixture of them. There's an archer, there's a magic user, there's a sword user, things like that. So.
Yeah, I've only really played the sort of opening, the tutorial. I sort of hit a roadblock where I couldn't figure out where to go next, so I sort of just gave up with it. But it's very loud. It's got that very sort of anime thing going on where the characters are very squealy and sort of in your face. But the combat as well, it's not like Breath of the Wild, really.
No.
No, not at all. But it's kind of fun. You've got like abilities and that sort of thing, and like you were saying, swords and bows and arrows and that sort of thing.
It's a little stiff. It's kind of like an MMO in that way, because the characters are not like very fluid when they fight. You just press circle really and spam moves, and then you get a special ability like triangle or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, people are infatuated with this game, though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, like, it's scoring. I'm surprised it's scoring so well, and people are enjoying it so much. Like, do you see yourself playing more of it, sticking with it?
No,
No?
personally. It's something I can jump in a little bit, but it's just,
no, I don't think I'll.
Yeah, like the thing is with me is the quests are not that interesting, and the storyline's hasn't clicked with me at all. Like there's usually like an MMO, they kind of throw you in like a cool story or something like right off the bat, and then you get the boring quest in between. But this one is like you just go from one quest to the other, and it's just dialogue, like just text, and you don't really there's no like big cutscenes really.
Mechanics, so yeah.
For a free to play game though,
it seemed like the voice acting was pretty. It seemed like the voice acting was pretty iffy as well in the dialogue.
It's not. It's
From what little I saw in IGN.
Fine. Yeah,
it's nothing to phone home about for sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can see myself going back to it for much. It's a fun game though. I'm surprised at the production value for a free to play game. It's definitely quite good in that regard. But first impressions, good, bad?
Good. I recommend it.
Good. Okay, now for a returning segment, the Gold Zone. Okay, so this week, Assassin's Creed Valhalla went gold. That's coming out next month alongside the new consoles, and a bunch of previews went up. So we got a lot of previews. So we got a lot of new information. I'm going to be mainly citing IGN and Eurogamer. Thanks, Seb, for helping me with a lot of these notes.
No problem.
So first up, there's no more side quests, but there's side activities. Do you know anything about this, Seb? What are side activities? Anything more than that?
They're basically world events, like in an MMO, like where you just wander anywhere you want, and then something just happens, an event happens. So there's no like quests. You kind of just stumble into like, oh, you're in a different dimension. Oh, all of a sudden a griffin attacks you. Oh, all of a sudden you're in a prison and you have to rescue somebody. It's very random. So it's always something new.
No more storylines, kind of like Red Dead's sort of things that happen in Red Dead 2, where you stumble upon a guy you're struggling with his horse and that sort of thing.
Yes.
I saw Red Dead 2 mentioned a lot.
There are definitely.
I saw Red Dead 2 mentioned a lot. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of similarities.
Because the biggest criticism of Odyssey and Origins was that there's just too much on the map. Like they just shoved like so much extra filler in the game. This game doesn't have any of that. You they want you to go at your own leisure and just explore any way you want.
Yeah. But that sounds fun, honestly. I kind of like that.
Me too. I love that, actually.
I maybe miss the side stories if they were well fleshed out, like The Witcher 3 and that sort of thing. But
yeah,
they weren't that good in Odyssey. No.
No. Yeah, fair enough. I didn't get that far in Odyssey, but.
Well, I mean, the world events are basically side stories. They're gonna have their own cutscenes, not cutscenes, but like stories and stuff.
Oh well, in that case, but okay, that sounds good enough then. So you've got this is something that they talked about before as well, where you've got world events like mini games and NPC encounters and boss fights with mythical creatures and that sort of thing.
Yep.
You've got sort of stuff. One of the things they mentioned before is that you have like sort of insult competitions, like Viking rap battles and that sort of thing.
Amazing.
Which sounds like sounds like a lot of fun.
Fighting, I think it's called. Yeah.
I've no idea, mate. But it does sound fun. It sounds like I'm not sure what it'll be like exactly, but it sounds kind of like if you ever played Before the Storm, Life is Strange. Yes. Before the Storm, like there's the talkback mechanic in that where you could sort of
be sassy.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there's some similarities to that. I've got no idea.
Yeah. It seems, I think in the gameplay I saw, it's like you'd have the other NPC, he'd say something, and then you have a limited time to like choose a selection of which sort of insult you want to return or something. And then,
it'd probably be something like that.
Yeah, and then from there, another NPC will kind of say, okay, your character won, or oh, he had the upper hand this time. But yeah, no, it definitely seems like one of the more interesting and fun mechanics.
For sure, and I like stuff like that.
Game. Yeah.
It's kind of that's another sort of thing like Red Dead, like the things you can do around camp, and like I mean there are a lot of comparisons to Red Dead here because there's also with your settlement you can upgrade your settlement, you can add, you can add stables, you can add You can evolve it to add more houses, more shops, more buildings. You can, and so it's kind of like Red Dead in that you can level up. You can level up the base of operations,
and you get it from raiding a village too, which is very Vikings like. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you upgrade it with. On you go.
Sorry, I was about to say I can't wait till somebody says in Valhalla that your mother was a hamster and your father smells of elderberries. Viking language. Anyway, I'm sorry, just dumb joke.
No, okay, definitely worth it for that joke. Yeah, but no, I mean you can use the stable to upgrade horses. You can customize your raven because of course you've got a raven in this game, kind of like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey where you had your eagle. Yeah, so that's obviously returning. And you've got assassination targets, yada yada yada. That sounds like a lot of fun. And you've got your hidden blade back as well. But apparently that doesn't work on all enemies.
Nope.
But I guess that's kind of the thing they've put in to make sure that people can't say it's not an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah. I mean,
apart from the fact that it's like the Animus. And
I mean, it's not very Viking-like to assassinate somebody with a hidden blade, but yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? They've studied the history. I'm sure.
No, because Vikings like to go like just run in and just take things head on. So
definitely,
yeah. I think it'd be interesting if they do something like Ghost of Tsushima, where it's like they actually go into that dichotomy of being, a Viking or samurai in Ghost's case, or actually doing the more assassin-y ways. So one can hope that the story is actually good this time because
I mean, Vikings take honor in dying in battle. That's why Valhalla, they get to eat dinner in Valhalla. That's kind of
exactly
the concept of it.
Yeah.
So.
And one thing I'm quite interested in as well, because there's a lot of interesting really stuff with this information, is that there's going to be less gear this time apparently. So because they wanted to focus more on upgrading your gear, which kind of sounds to me like God of War. Where you buy new gear every now and then, and you can sort of upgrade it and that sort of thing.
Which is a welcome change because the previous games had way too much gear, and you'd be changing your armor every level or every mission.
Yeah,
like constantly.
I hated the gear in Odyssey. Like it's incredibly well done, I must say, but I just hated the constant managing and managing stats. I'd say Odyssey was a bit more laid back than Odyssey, but Origins was more laid back than Odyssey. But Valhalla just seems to be. I think it's a matter of just like weapon archetypes, and then you can upgrade them individually. Like not a matter of I have this gold tiered axe. But I also have this, purple.
You can play as like different classes, kind of like you can if you want to be an archer, more of an archer type of character, you can do that, or you can be more of a berserker kind of guy. So it's up to you. That's why they did it.
I'm definitely sort of excited for that. Like I didn't hate the multiple gear, like the constantly swapping gear and stuff. But I'm not gonna. I don't hate the idea of having less of that and having to not swap gear every 5 minutes and that sort of thing.
So I'm curious at this point, like, what is the Assassin's Creed in Assassin's Creed, right? Because like and I'm not coming at this from like a traditionalist standpoint. I'm not saying change is bad or anything like that. I'm just kind of curious at this point, what makes the series the series? Because like they've kind of reneged on a lot of original traits that define the series. I think the Animus is still involved, but like even then, Miles was his name. I don't remember.
Desmond Miles.
Desmond Miles. Yeah, Desmond. I mean, he's not part of the series anymore, right? I just have no idea what's going on because after Black Flag, I dropped off.
He died.
Oh, jeez. Whoops, spoilers. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, on you go.
Yeah, sorry. After Black Flag, I just dropped off because I was like, well, Assassin's Creed is never getting better than this. I'm good. Like, I got the best pirate game I'd ever played in my life, so.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely evolved it a bit. Like, Origins and Odyssey and everything, they were more RPG-like than the last ones. But I think it's still...
Sorry, I was going to say, I feel like they've just... Instead of actually keeping to like, the laurels of Assassin's Creed as a franchise with its lore and stuff, I think they're basically just, at this point, just making it their hallmark, historical game sort of series, because I think it, at least to, investors and stuff, I think they'd see it as odd that they'd have they'd have Assassin's Creed, which is all about going to the past and messing around in those worlds, and then creating an entirely new franchise because really there's not much Assassin's Creed in the Assassin's Creed games anymore. At least in Odyssey, especially, as that was just, really for the most part, that was just a ancient Greece game, which occasionally happened to have some more Animus and Templar stuff. So,
which is always the worst part of the games. I always hate that part.
Yeah.
But it's just the name. The name sells. That's really what it is.
Sure, but technically they have sort of shoehorned in the sort of assassins thing into this, haven't they? There's still that league of assassins for whatever they call it.
Which is weird in Viking culture, though. This is weird.
That's why maybe it feels a bit shoehorned, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I will say, though, before we move on to the next segment, I think my big Assassin's Creed hot take is that Unity, technical problems aside, Unity is probably my favorite game in the series.
I keep hearing people say that, sort of. That's like a hot take, but I don't know. I need to try that.
I think, I played it after all of the patches, so for the most part, but I think it's really weird because it felt like the first time in forever that the series actually tried to have, a good story and some good, some actual cinematic moments, whereas, later Assassin's Creed games really didn't. But I don't know. That's just me. I could be.
That's kind of like That I feel like you've always got outliers with the games that are sort of universally panned. Like that's like me with Mass Effect Andromeda. I think that's a fantastic game.
Did you finish all the bullet points, or? I guess.
I was gonna. There's a couple of sort of smaller ones.
Because I was gonna add something.
But I think. Do you want to? Is there anything you wanted to?
Yeah, I thought the combat was interesting. Like you have two different bars. You have like the health bar, and then you have like an energy kind of bar. And like you can play your play style where you focus on just knocking their energy bar all the way down. If you do, you get to do like a really cool like execution move on them. I thought that was pretty badass. But you can also just spam the attack button if you want to. But what's the fun in that? But
you've watched the previews, right, Seb?
Yeah, I watched the IGN.
Does it look like a big departure from Odyssey?
No, it looks very similar. It's practically the same game. But the interesting part is just that they got rid of all the side quests and stuff, like that you can actually just get to explore and have fun and experience random events and things like that instead of you just because my biggest criticism of Odyssey and Origins was you look at the map and there's 100 things on the map and you're just like, this is not even a game anymore, it's homework, and you just get bored and you get burned out. This game it's more, see I didn't really care about this game before the preview, but now I really want it. I still don't know if I'm gonna get it day one, but I'm definitely gonna get it relatively soon, and they definitely sold me on it. For sure.
I do hope it's shorter because I don't have time for a big epic Assassin's Creed game like Odyssey.
It only needs to be like 30 to 40 hours. You know what I mean? Like that'd be perfect. It doesn't need to be a 100-hour game.
I'd say like if the story was like a really good like 15 to maybe 20-hour story, and then just you have a bunch of extra hours of open world content, I'd be sold. Because I think Ubisoft nowadays seems to be going for quantity over quality, because they think, our players are going to think that it's a good return on their investment if they have, X amount of hours played. So, but no, I think if they just stuck to like a really good 14-hour story, then that'd be. I
think people would be happy with that for sure. Yeah. But yeah, pretty much a lot of sort of inspiration taken from Red Dead 2 there. It feels like. And speaking of Red Dead 2. The creator of Red Dead 2, Rockstar Games, recently announced that they were buying a new studio. Now, this is Ruffian Games, the creators of Crackdown 2, and they also did some work on the Master Chief Collection.
Yep.
And they've rebranded them to Rockstar Dundee, which is obviously they're a Scottish studio, so a bit of hometown pride there for me. Yeah, apparently they've been working with Rockstar on something or other since last year.
So this is not the award-winning studio that will be producing the Crocodile Dundee game, is what you're telling me. That's
I was
all
gonna say, like, yeah.
That's right.
Mitch is falling for that.
That's Dundee in Scotland. I'm afraid.
Thoroughly disappointed.
It's a done deal.
Yeah.
I miss when Rockstar did random games like that though. Like, 'cause when remember table? Was it the table ping pong? They made like ping pong.
Ping pong, yeah. Rockstar's ping pong game, and they did like the Warriors as well, which was like
they did the Warriors and Bully. Like they used to do like 2 games a year. Now they do like 1 every 7 years.
Yeah, they're definitely different
makes sense
company
though.
these days.
Makes sense though.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always GTA and Red Dead.
But yeah, so there's the Twitter account Scottish Games tweeted out, and I quote, "The team at Ruffian Games is hiring. They're looking for engineers to work on unspecified titles for Rockstar Games." So I guess they're expanding their arsenal to work on GTA 6. They need more power.
That's right.
For full speed ahead on that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, in other game development studio news, Level 5 has apparently shut down its North American operations in one word or another. So obviously, Level 5 is responsible for Professor Layton, Yokai Watch, Ni no Kuni, Dark Cloud, and Dragon Quest VIII. I know none of this. I'm reading off the list that Seb put together for me because I'm not familiar with this studio.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
they obviously, but I had to ask.
I was gonna say,
person. Yeah, I had to ask someone who the heck is Level 5.
I should have played that off. It's just me being clever. But
it's sad. So, you guys embarrassed.
So I don't know much about this. I don't know much about this, obviously, but we're going to go over to our man on the ground now. We're gonna see what's up with this. So over you, Seb.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a huge fan of the developer, but Professor Layton and Yokai Watcher, like recently they've been more known for Nintendo. Like a lot of these games are on the 3DS and stuff like that. But Ni no Kuni obviously was on the PS3, and Dark Cloud is a very classic PS2 game, and Dragon Quest VIII I believe is a classic PS2 game as well. So they have a history with PlayStation. I do think that they must be having like financial struggles. So I think Sony should really look into acquiring them. I think that'd be a good fit for them. It would really bolster their RPG section of their games. But yeah, they've been more Nintendo in recent years, but it's still a big blow. Even though this is a PlayStation podcast, it's a big blow for a lot of Nintendo fans. Because a lot of people love Professor Layton. Like that's it kind of like it's like a puzzle. Like you're kind of like a detective, like Sherlock Holmes kind of thing. And I never really played it. Yeah,
Professor Layton is probably one of the few games on that list that I'm actually familiar with and can go okay.
Dragon Quest and Ni no Kuni? Come on.
Oh well, okay, I've heard of Dragon Quest and Ni no Kuni, but yeah, but did they do all of the Professor Layton games or just?
I'm not sure, but I know they did a lot of them. So
I know
that's really a bummer about Ni no Kuni because I've been wanting. It's not like I can't anymore, but I've been wanting to get into that franchise for a bit. Every time I see it on sale, it's super tempting. But I just still haven't dived in.
You play the second one?
I haven't played 1 or 2, but I've been wanting to start with 1 and then go to 2 because I hear they're both really good.
Yeah, they're very different games. The first one's more like Pokemon, and the second one's more of an action RPG. If you like Studio Ghibli, like their animation style,
the second one was made by a different studio, right?
No, same.
No, same studio, right? Okay.
Same developer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
that's a bummer.
That's a more recent one as well. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that too. That's a real shame.
Yeah. Anyway, so Dory, I hear the kids are into this thing called Spider-Man. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah. Let me talk to my people. Are the kids into Spider-Man? Yes, I'm hearing yes.
Okay, well that's confirmed. Yes, the kids are into Mitch, you're a kid.
We are.
You're a kid, Mitch. Are you into Spider-Man?
I am indeed a kid.
Oh, he's into Spider-Man.
Whoa, what?
I know.
He's got him with him, joining us on the podcast this evening. Spider-Man himself.
Got the shelves and everything above me, but fun fact: Spider-Man PS4 is probably one of the few games I've actually ever platinumed. because it was an easy platinum, and I love the game. And
it was a very easy platinum. Very easy platinum.
Oh,
I think
it was
very
the
grindy.
platinum rate.
Easy,
The platinum rate for that is like what, 20%, something ridiculous like that.
No, higher than that. I think it was like 30.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
It's very
something nuts like that.
It was very grindy though. I didn't like doing all the districts, but
yeah, I didn't take
mind
that
the
long.
districts. I won't. Okay, that's a pretty cool shirt.
that is a cool shirt.
The kids are indeed into Spider-Man. Sorry. That's what I was
Actually,
running around for in the background.
I'm actually wearing my Spider-Man shirt as well. Very thematic. I don't know if you can see the back of this.
Yeah, and you've got the little framed poster in the background
Yeah.
as well.
That's the vinyl, the soundtrack vinyl for the video game.
Yes.
But enough of us sort of being down with the kids. Game Informer, their cover story this month at Game Informer is Miles Morales, the, in one word or another, sequel to Spider-Man for the PS4. And so there's a bunch of new information for this now. So there's, we got more information about the different modes, and Mitch, you're now sideways.
I know you guys are now also sideways to me. Okay,
right. Back to after that rude interruption. So there's the PS5 performance mode is going to be dynamic 4K and 60 FPS, which sounds very nice, very nice. And there's also going to be a fidelity mode, which is 4K 30 FPS with ray tracing and other improved visuals. Now, apparently, the ray tracing is quite nice. I think we might have talked about this a little bit. I don't remember when we were talking about his face a few weeks back, but
I don't remember.
I think
because they released some screenshots a while ago for that showed off the ray tracing in the remaster. Sorry, that was the remaster.
Yeah,
but
naturally,
like there's not. I mean, it's 2020. I'm playing in 60 frames.
Oh.
I'll take 60.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, me too,
Look,
for
we
sure.
can talk about the frames all we want, but James, there's two words that I got for you about this Miles Morales game: Spider-Man, the
Spider-Man, the cat,
Yeah.
Spider-Man. What a weird name!
Oh, the cat.
You'd think he was called Spider Cat or something, but he's apparently called Spider-Man the Cat.
But he's just Spider-Man.
Is that
Spider-Man
right?
The cat.
Legally, he is officially called Spider-Man the Cat.
So there you have it.
Our own Marvelson has actually done the deep dive report on Twitter, and direct from the heads of Marvel themselves. And no, I'm not kidding. His name is Spider-Man.
Well, that's so basically what they're saying is Spider-Man in this game gets transformed into a cat.
Yes,
essentially, because we know Spider-Man's in the game. We know Spider-Man the cat, I should say, is in the game. So yeah, fantastic. Very much looking forward to cat gameplay. As I'm sure we all are.
You don't even need to wait for Stray to come out. It's amazing.
I just hope.
I know, fantastic.
Yes. I hope we get to customize
cats.
the cat though. Even though we probably can't, but it'd be cool.
I think you might be able. Maybe you'll be able to with different suits.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I hope the we get customizable backpacks and stuff, and we can choose whether we want to equip backpacks on certain costumes. Because I think that'd be a really cool, little extra feature. Because I know, fans, especially with the last PS4 game, have been, crying for actual suit customization. And seeing as it doesn't look like Miles Morales is doing that, I'd say backpack customization would be like the next best thing, at least for this interpretation.
Yeah. There's more details as well. Like there was a lot of information in the first few days because Game Informer, they usually throw a bunch of information out when they reveal the cover. So I mean, this is pretty basic next gen stuff at this point. There's going to be no load screens even when fast traveling, which is fantastic. Nobody likes loading screens. I think we can all agree on that.
I did like the subway sections though. They were funny.
The subways, that was a good way of disguising them. Yeah.
If there's a good loading screen or little animation that plays, I don't mind loading screens, honestly. Sure. But I think in the next gen landscape, I think no loading screens, especially when you're exiting, buildings too. Because I know that was the one annoyance I had in PS4 that you had to load before you enter and exit buildings.
Exciting times. So you can also do takedowns from ceilings and walls. Apparently you'll go invisible. You can go invisible and go back into stealth after you've performed a takedown.
Yep. Miles has invisibility powers. Yep.
He does have invisibility powers. We saw that in the PS5 event demo as well. So some of the animations for that were really cool. How he sort of went in and out of invisibility. And also on the DualSense, there's going to be they're going to utilize the what you call it, the adaptive triggers. So you'll feel the rumble when shooting webs, and when you reach the end of a swing, it'll tighten. The trigger will tighten.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like a minor thing, but this is what I get the most excited for next gen is this sort of thing, because it's sort of the thing that it's
cool.
the sort of thing that doesn't sound gimmicky. It sounds more like a game changer. Adds to the immersion and the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like a bunch of podcasts ago, I think one of us mentioned what like just the possibilities for what the DualSense controller could do for swinging as Miles, and I think they've definitely seemed to have delivered on that sort of idea, really.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Game looks good. And the good thing about the game looking good is that there's going to be new photo mode additions that weren't in the Spider-Man. I assume these will be in the remaster, but they won't be. They weren't in the original Spider-Man. So you can now customize the lighting. There's going to be new selfie poses, new stickers, new frames, that sort of thing. So very exciting for me personally. I don't know about you guys. You excited for that?
No. Not photo mode.
I played around with I played around with the photo mode a bit, so I'll probably play around with it for like a day, and then I'll probably never touch it again.
This is my curse. Every time I put that game up, it's going to be 5 minutes of playing. Not even. It's going to be 2 minutes of playing, and then 5 minutes of photo mode, and the infinite loop.
See, James, this is why you want me to do the review for the site.
Exactly.
Not you,
and then what's going to happen again is like we want to do a spoiler cast, and then he takes like a month and a half to beat it, and then before you know it, it's okay. February, and we're playing something.
Seb, it'll be okay this time because we will have enough power behind us, enough people who have finished it on time to do it. Like we'll just all three of us will do it. We'll do games.
You're going to perform a coup and just do it without me.
That's right.
Yeah. I think the funny thing is that
we're already halfway there. His video's off.
We're adding a deadline.
I think the funny thing is that Miles Morales actually comes out the day I graduate, so I can't play it on launch day, but I have the complete next day just to relax, sit down, and
great graduation present though. They're really looking.
I know it really is. I know. So maybe Sony isn't so bad after all.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I want to also add that Spider-Man the Cat can add to your finishers as Miles Morales.
He can.
Yes.
Of course,
that's a very important note.
I'm sure everyone's seen the video. I'm sure everyone's seen the video by now of him jumping out of the backpack and hitting the guy in the face or whatever. But very good, very
That's
good.
Incredible. Yeah.
But one other thing that's come to light this week is that they've updated the PlayStation 4 party chats. So this is a change that they've made, obviously, for the PS5 upcoming release. But people have been getting sort of up in arms about a warning that's been issued when you join a party, which says something or other about you may be recorded. Blah 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 while you're in the party chat. Now people assumed it meant Sony was listening in. They, like the FBI, they're listening. They've got guys sitting at computers listening to your laddie bants.
A George Orwell sort of situation. Yeah.
But no, there's been some clarity. So what it actually means is that it's just a warning, essentially saying that your friends can record you and report your actions. No, so I think before, if you wanted to record somebody's voice in a party chat, you'd have to have them select a setting that said they were okay for their voice to be shared. I guess they've removed that option now or something like that. I can't confirm.
I think it might still be in there, or it might be in there, but I think I don't.
Or maybe they can just report. Maybe they can just report the chat to Sony and they can listen to the logs or something like that. But anyway, that's a big blow. Dory, what do you think of that?
Yeah, so at first I was believing the hype, right? I hadn't read everything about it yet. The first impressions were that Sony was doing this really weird Orwellian thing where they're like listening on to you at all times. And I mean, let's be honest, I have a Google Home like right over there. It's probably doing the same damn thing. Sometimes she'll come into the middle of the conversation, even when she's not wanted, and I haven't said anything to her. I'm just like, what the hell?
I can relate.
So it's like, we're already kind of living there, but I really don't want more companies doing that. So I was like, well, this kind of sucks. But then I read about it, and yeah, all it is a very basic moderation thing. It's just your friends can record you to basically report you to Sony or not even friends necessarily, if you have a big party group or whatever. Anyone in there can record what you're doing and send it to Sony if they think you're being, racist or sexist. I mean, this is not groundbreaking. This is not some kind of new moderation policy that's never been done before. This is pretty standard fare. Honestly, if your friends are bold enough to report you to Sony, they're bold enough to just tell you something voice to voice. I really don't think it's a big issue.
You guys say that now, and then all of a sudden you start hearing whispering. Can you believe he plays those games? Like, what the hell?
What a filthy casual! I can't believe it.
Oh my god, he's eating. He's playing a game and he's eating at the same time. Oh my god, he's touching his controller.
He's got Doritos and Mountain Dew. We gotta report him.
What a noob!
Disgusting.
Yeah, definitely going to be a lot of reports of people eating Doritos while they're playing. That's and more power to them, because that's annoying. I hate it when people do that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, anyway, God, there was a lot of news this week, right? So the Mass Effect trilogy, all hail the Mass Effect trilogy. Please come to us. But it seems like there's been more.
I bow to no one.
More pointing towards its existence. I mean, we can't really doubt it at this point. But it's been rated. It's been rated in Korea now, apparently. So this is via the website Gematsu, and they say, and I quote, "The Game Rating and Administration Committee of Korea has rated the unannounced Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is rumored to be the name of the Mass Effect Remastered trilogy, including Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3. While still not officially announced, it is said to have been delayed from a previously planned late 2020 release to early 2021. So,
Legendary Edition seems like a really weird name for a trilogy, like a collection of the trilogy that's been remastered. Like
I'm so hyped.
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that, and it makes me feel like, oh, it's just the first game that's been remastered.
Maybe it is just the first game. Who knows? I mean, it could be it could just be the first game as part of a package.
I mean, according to the rumors that I said 2 weeks ago, that the reason it got delayed is because the first game, they're having a hard time remastering it. And then they're not doing any multiplayer at all.
I mean, we've talked before about how where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, this isn't just smoke at this point. This is smoke. You got breadcrumbs the size of like houses. Like this thing is happening. Like there's no
shit's
way
burning
to deny
down
it at this point.
At this point,
shit is burning down. This is not just smoke. This is an inferno, and we've got no disco at this point.
Yeah. Mitch, you a Mass Effect fan at all?
I haven't played the trilogy, as unfortunately, but I think this would definitely be one of those things that I'd pick up at some point to actually experience the Holy Trilogy for the first time through, because I think I've really just been waiting for these remasters at this point as to why I haven't hopped onto the bandwagon yet.
Mass Effect 2 is one of my Mass Effect 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I just think it's such a masterpiece in our storytelling, decision making, action, dialogue. I mean, it is just so good. And Mass Effect 1 is good, and then there's another game, I think. I don't know. I'm kidding. Most of that game is actually genuinely good, so the ending's really sad. Anyway, but yes, I'm so pumped. I want to replay these games. I want to have them remastered. Like, this is something I will definitely do, because I would love to see the choices I would make now as opposed to back then. Yeah. Because I played Mass Effect 1 when it came out. I think I played Mass Effect 2 like 4 years ago. I played it a while after it came out, and then I shortly played Mass Effect 3 after that to see what the hubbub was about.
But the different endings with the colors.
No spoilers. You
never played it?
The thing is, right, I need them to do this remaster now, because I'm holding out for it, this is the reason I haven't played the game yet, because I'm holding out for this thing to come out. So I mean, so
do a completely new ending with the remaster. Imagine.
I mean, they've released a DLC to change the ending. Then
imagine if confetti just comes down. It's like, you did it.
You did it. Yeah.
Which begs an interesting point, though. Yeah. I do wonder if they'd include that DLC in this trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Remaster.
They would. They'd have to.
I think so. Yeah.
I still remember the shitstorm that happened when the game came out. Like that was
when that whole shitstorm happened, I barely knew what Mass Effect was. like I was familiar with it, obviously, but I wasn't, familiar with it. But then
and you were like 9, right? You're like 9 years old then. This was like
Gaga.
This was like 2008, right? 2009 or something.
No, 2012.
Was it? Oh, I don't remember.
The third one came out this decade or last decade.
2012, I believe.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in March 2012.
Okay.
But I remember when the whole internet was on fire with that sort of ending. I'm like, okay, I should probably check this out. At the good old age of 9, and I mean, it was harmless. It was fine.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, But no, I think it's definitely one of those things that I wish I could have experienced the series alongside everyone else, just because then I would have probably had that proper understanding of why that ending was so heartbreaking for many. That
I mean, I'm not going to spoil it. It's because your choices didn't matter, and then the difference in choices only led to 3 different colors of the ending, like red, blue, and green.
Yeah,
that was why everybody was mad. He was like, no matter what you did, you got the same ending. But this is kind of off topic, but I recommend looking at Colin Moriarty's review of Mass Effect 3 when he was at IGN. It's the funniest review. He's like walking down the street giving just watch it. It's funny. It's it's very hipsterish. Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to check that out though. Because I feel like if I play it when the remaster comes out, I can be part of the zeitgeist that I couldn't have been. I can be part of the moment. You know?
Yeah, you can join all of the Mass Effect subreddits and sort of create all these posts going, I hated the ending.
Exactly.
A whole new generation can grow up hating Mass Effect 3's ending.
Now, the first game is going to feel dated. The second game is when it really took off. So,
but it honestly surprises me that I've managed to dodge spoilers for this long for it.
So, Shepard. No.
Stop right there. Okay. Seb, I'm going to throw you another question, right? Mm-hmm. Do you like Monster Hunter?
No.
No? Okay, Mitch, Mitch, do you like Monster Hunter?
I don't actually. Never clicked on it.
Dory, do you like Monster Hunter? Somebody must like Monster Hunter. Oh, for the love of God!
No, but I can give you this. Paul Anderson, what's his name? Paul W.S. Anderson, and his wife Mila Jovovich, whatever her name is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he ruined Resident Evil. He's gonna ruin this one. It looks like shit.
So none of us, being big Monster Hunter fans, we can't really speak to.
It looks bad though.
We can't speak to the horror that fans are likely experiencing watching this trailer. I'll be honest, right? I didn't think it was that bad. I say that quietly because I don't want people to think less of me.
Too late.
I think the trailer itself was fine.
It was kind of like another. It was like
the god awful Guardians of the Galaxy line.
You need
that one.
You need a soundbar and with farting noises.
But the thing is, like, it looked like another shitty action movie, but it didn't look. It didn't look like awful. It didn't look terrible. It just looks like a lesser version of what was that old movie? Stargate, was it? Stargate.
It looks like Stargate, just with Monster Hunter.
I guess I can see that. Sure. I mean, when people said it looked like Stargate, I was putting it through the reference of the TV show. But I guess it makes more sense if you look at it like the original movie. That makes more sense.
Yeah. It definitely. Yeah.
The one thing that I took away from the trailer, though, was that there's a scene where the main character pulls out a rocket launcher and shoots the Diablos, right? But the thing is, so we see like a first-person view of her looking down the scope. It's like one of them sort of scopes with all the gadgety stuff and the tech, and it's like green tinted and that sort of thing. And you see her looking down the scope of the thing, aiming it up, and then it switches to a shot of her, like looking at her holding the rocket launcher, and there's no sight on the rocket launcher. There's no sight. What's she looking at? Is she a cyborg? What's going on?
I didn't even pick that up. I
mean, this is the same director that crashed a motorcycle through a church window, and then shot the motorcycle in the air with a liquor, and then shot the motorcycle and it blew up, and then This is the same. This is the same director that made Alice Clones and Matrix, Resident Evil movies, and
he's the same director who made Alice Clones, and then immediately within 15 minutes of the next movie made them redundant
and killed them off the first 15 minutes.
And I want to say on a more serious note that like one of the stunt actors got seriously hurt, and it took her years to actually get any money from him for
that fucking
one
movie.
of the movies. Yeah, like.
Can you imagine?
I mean, he's not just a bad director; he's also just kind of a shit person. It seems.
Yeah. So, in other words, you probably shouldn't see this movie because it doesn't look that good, and the director doesn't seem like very nice fella.
Also, who would go out to the cinemas at this time? Like,
right?
Why would you actively move up a movie in a time where there's literally talks this week about how some theater chains in America could go bankrupt?
I want to take that point, Mitch, and I want to elevate it and say, why would you move up this movie?
Exactly.
Because I can understand why somebody would want to, go out and watch Tenet in the middle of all this if they're excited about that movie. Who's gonna go and risk their lives and the lives of their loved ones to go and see fucking Monster Hunter?
Yeah, because like Monster Hunter
and my family, but it's fine because I watched Monster Hunter.
But it's a niche series, so it's like it's not even gonna sell anyway. Even if it was a great movie, it probably wouldn't sell well because like Monster Hunter has always been a very obscure franchise. Monster Hunter World is the first game that really sold crazy numbers.
Yeah. Imagine how batshit insane it would be if Tenet doesn't, save theaters around the world, but Monster Hunter does. Monster Hunter single-handedly saves all theater chains throughout the world.
Well, you heard it here first. The PS premiere scoop.
It becomes the highest-grossing movie ever. Like passes Endgame, earns $4 billion in the box office because there's no other movies other than Monster Hunter.
We have achieved world peace, and everybody's COVID's over. The movie single-handedly created a vaccine.
Paul W.S. Anderson and his wife Mila Jovovich single-handedly saved coronavirus. News at 7.
Mila creates vaccine.
Yep,
fantastic.
From her Resident Evil clone blood or something. I don't know.
God, I hope
from
not.
The T virus.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys know Ken Levine, of course, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the BioShock guy. So he obviously stopped working on that sort of stuff, and he left to form his own studio many moons ago, called Ghost Story Games. And apparently, that game, that Ghost Story game that they have been working on, is in the later stages of production.
It's not in the gold zone.
It's not in the gold zone, I'm afraid. No. So no gold zone from us. It doesn't go that. It doesn't go up in that segment. But apparently it's going to be a sci-fi immersive sim. Are you guys interested in this at all? Whatever it is, what do you guys think it's going to be? I should say.
I'd say it could be something like BioShock, but Ken Levine is one of those guys who I see him doing something completely different. He doesn't seem like the type of person who'd go, okay, I have my own studio and stuff and my own opportunity to create a new game, so I'm just going to do the BioShock thing again. Like, he seems like one of those people who legitimately wants to create something new and go out and do something weird with it. So, I've got no idea. Yeah. I got nothing.
I don't think it would be exactly like BioShock, but I'm imagining kind of like a utopia/dystopia immersive sci-fi sim, and that sounds interesting to me. I don't know if I'd play it, but
something with like heavy thematic resonance and social commentary.
Social commentary for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Leslie Benzies left Rockstar and he went and formed his own sort of studio, and nobody's heard from him since. It's a similar situation to that, where it's like, what are these people doing? Just give us some information. Let us know that you're still alive.
Yeah.
So that's what I want.
It sounds like an RPG, so that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the immersive sim part because I hesitate to call any of the BioShocks an immersive sim. Really, that's more of just like a light RPG. So I'm not usually too fond of immersive sims, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Well,
I don't have much to say about it. But I love Bioshock. I love Bioshock. So
there's not a lot of information to go on. Fair enough. So Mitch, you look like the kind of guy who enjoys a Burger King. Yes.
Wow, what is that supposed to mean?
We don't have. Yeah, I was gonna say no. Well, we don't have Burger King here. First of all, James, get your.
Oh, okay.
Get your,
I apologize.
You got two Americans, and you went after the Australian guy.
I mean, literally, you could have asked me.
Like, that was literally a layup for you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's such a layup.
I could have gone either way. Mitch was the name that came out of my mouth.
I literally had McDonald's like yesterday. So.
Okay, well let's start over then. Seb, you look like the kind of guy who enjoys a Burger King.
I do. I eat Burger King every Saturday at work. So tomorrow.
Well, then you, my friend, are in with the chance of winning a PlayStation 5.
Yep.
Because they announced some competition in the US where you buy a big Whopper or some bollocks like that. I don't know, and you have a chance to win a PS5.
Hey, put respect on the Whopper.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No slander of Burger King in any kind here. It's bad enough it's bad enough you shout on tater tots, but now Whoppers uncalled for.
We gotta let our podcast listeners know that these two right here, not Seb, are just we're not respectful to tater tots, and I just had some of their
potato gems.
I don't know. We don't even have those. What the fuck is a tater tot?
It's a smaller potato. Why
smaller
do you call it
potato.
Gems? Are you playing Spyro the Dragon?
What's a smaller potato? That's just a baby potato. I don't understand. What makes it special?
Hence tots. That's why it's called tots, because it's a baby.
But toddlers.
It's a baby potato.
I mean, we have baby potatoes.
Put some respect on tater tots.
Oh my god! Right. Anyway, we're getting off topic. This doesn't matter. No,
I can't handle the slander.
We're talking about Burger King, damn it. We're talking about the Angus and the Whopper. Weirdly enough, with this Burger King thing to reveal the UI for the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I haven't looked at this because I want to go in as fresh as possible on launch day. When I get my PS5, I want to take it out of the box, I want to plug it in, and I want to look at that shiny UI in action. See, look at the pretty visuals. And anyway, but I don't know. I think some of you guys might have had a look at this. And I
watched the full. I think it was 15-minute video.
Yeah,
15-minute.
I wrote the notes. So
you wrote the notes.
So it goes
3 out of 4.
Fairly expansively over the entire infrastructure of the UI, and I mean, really, I'll let Seb take it away, seeing as he has all the notes and can probably guide the conversation best. But yeah, I don't mind it. Basically, overall impressions, I don't mind it.
It has. I'll say a couple things about it. It has a new activity segment that I think is really cool. It'll help people out who want to do trophy hunting, like one of us in this podcast loves to do. And nudge, shrug. Yeah, and so that's really cool. It'll tell you how many minutes you have left until you get to a certain achievement, or how many minutes it estimates, I think, until you're done with a certain section of the game, which I think is awesome. So now all we have to do is get out a calculator, add that all together, and hey, we finally figured out how long the freaking game is and maybe how long we've been playing the game. But Sony just put how long you've been playing the game in your thing. It's not hard.
Steam's been doing it for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Come on, Sony. You're making Dory crazy here.
Does Xbox do it? Does anyone know? I know we're
on
PlayStation.
So.
I don't think so. I think it's just.
But Steam and Switch both do it. You know, like that's how I know how I've been playing.
Switch doesn't give you an exact number. They tell you you've been more than 40 hours. Yada yada.
I just want to know
the activity log in the Switch is terrible, but that's another topic.
I'm better than nothing for sure. But yeah, anything about this that stands out to you guys? With the UI?
I can go through the notes if you guys want. Just there's more of a structure, so we're not jumping all over the place.
I think I will. Sorry, before you do that, Seb, I will add 2 things. One, I think, at least on this main home screen image we have here with the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart sort of image, I think there's too much blank space on the screen. Like, I think the actual icons themselves are far too small for the overall UI.
Yeah, that's an interesting point as well. I kind of noticed that.
Yeah,
it seems like what you've got your games and your apps and everything up at the top, right?
Yeah,
And what's this at the bottom? You've got a bunch of games.
So they're on the PlayStation Store app, and they basically briefly mentioned how it's actually integrated into the UI now. Like it's not a separate application like on the PS4 or anything.
Oh, right. That is interesting.
Yeah. So that's definitely something.
I'm not sure. I'm surprised people aren't more annoyed about that, because I've seen people complain where they, on PS4, where every now and then they'll show you like a deal, they'll promote a deal on the PlayStation Store on the homepage. Yeah. I've seen people complain about that. So the fact that like
it's alright, it's not a big deal.
I guess this is. Yeah, I know, but I guess with this, it's sort of you have to go to the PlayStation Store still to get these things, right? It's not going to. It's not going to advertise to you like it does on Xbox.
Although
they didn't say that.
Although I think there were a couple images and stuff where they actually were highlighting game, and it did have the price there, like it had the $70 price or anything. So
yeah,
I'm not sure what that means. Like, is it just saying that it's a $70 game or what? I don't know. But
I really appreciate that you are now able to do voice to text. Kind of. Yes. I mean, you technically can with the PlayStation now, but I think you need a mic plugged in or something like that. But it seems like
you need
default
mic,
yeah, it seems like default you can just now voice to text, which is great because I hate typing on the keyboard. It's slow and annoying. I also want to say the card system looks really neat. I don't have any big like criticisms of the UI. Like, I think it looks nice. I think it looks cool. I don't care a ton about the startup screen, as long as that music at the start is nice, or something like that. Like, that's all I really care about. Like, I could listen to the PS4 menu theme at the beginning for like a good couple minutes. It's so relaxing. I love it.
What I'm curious about is the themes, like, because like you go if you hover the cursor over a game, it gives you the game in the background, but like, does it take away your theme? Like, did it take away?
I don't think so, because there was a showing. There was a screenshot taken of a game that was on the PS5, and it did have a particular. I think it was a horror game. I can't remember what it was though. But it had a specific theme for the game itself.
Okay.
So I think things are still
Dead by Daylight. That was Dead by Daylight, right?
Yes, I think it was Dead by Daylight. I was just thinking it was that, but I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Seb, you'll probably be quite happy about the fact that you can now record videos and screenshots in 4K.
Definitely. Like, they still didn't verify. They didn't go into any detail on that, but like, I'm curious, like, if it's an hour again, or if it's gonna, if it's unlimited. Because I think Xbox is unlimited or something like that. So
the thing is, how much space is that going to take up on your hard drive?
Sure, but
it takes up a lot.
Sure, but I upload a video and then I delete it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're like capturing gameplay footage, I guess if you're capturing gameplay footage, a lot you're best not using that and just getting a capture card. But like, if you're recording gameplay footage, like I record a lot of gameplay footage on my PS4, and I've got like 100 gigs used up on that.
Yeah,
and
but
like with the size of the SSD, which was obviously, there was a leak that said, which we covered last week,
664,
which said it was going to be 664 gigabytes after the OS install. That's 4K videos. If you've got a few of those, left up on there, that's going to take up a lot of space, because 4K videos are huge compared to 1080p.
Of course. I mean, the thing with me though is I usually keep a small amount of games on my hard drive. I'm not one that has like 10 games sitting on there. You know what I mean? I only play I only keep what I play on there. So I always have space. So that won't be an issue for me personally.
Fair enough. And I'll probably end up recording in 1080p anyway, because I don't really need to record in 4K myself.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, do we have the option? There's no 1440p or anything like that? There's no in between, or like?
I don't know. I say that they would have options, because I know that on like PS4 Pros and stuff, you can select the quality of video for the recording, right? Or
I'm not sure. They didn't.
You can. I think you can. Yeah, I think you can select the quality. Yeah, on PS4.
Yeah.
But
you're right. You can. Yeah.
Yeah. But you can also, the UI runs at 4K as well, which is expected, right?
I don't think the Xbox does.
you think no, Xbox is at 1080. So yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I would have thought otherwise, but anyway, they might patch that in. Who knows? Anyway, switching to a game from another game takes about 8 seconds apparently. So I guess this is kind of like the quick resume they have on Xbox, except can you have multiple games open?
I don't think so.
No?
I think they would have sold that. I would have advertised that.
Still very quick.
But I think what the I think Dory mentioned it earlier, but like I think with the card system, what they do to kind of, I guess you could say, kind of like match up with the quick resume features, that you can just like with the cards you can actually select what specific activity to load straight into. So like say you're playing Destruction All Stars or something, and you want to play a level in Sackboy: A Big Adventure, you could just click the card, press resume, and then you could load straight into the level. Like, I
think it's worth mentioning or emphasizing that they do say it's not only some games that can do this. It's not every single PS5 game. Not everything's going to be able to do this. Should also be mentioned, right? Which I wouldn't expect anyway. That's just a cool thing that some of the games can do. And also, obviously, this UI is still at least a little bit in development, so we might expect minor changes in the next month or so.
Yeah, because I was going to mention as well the cards. When you actually go into the cards and select them, I think the UI looks a bit finicky, but hopefully they've sorted that out in the interim. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's interesting is, maybe I can get a bit of clarity from one of you guys on this, is that apparently you can send your recorded videos and photos to your parties.
Yep.
To your friends.
You can literally stream what you're playing to your friends in your party. Like literally, they can watch everything you're doing. Like I don't know. I don't know about the UI, but they can watch you play a game.
That's kind of like share play, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like share play plus, basically.
But it's better, it's faster and more reliable.
That's the plus.
Yeah, because I never... Sorry, Mitch.
Sorry, I was going to say, this is a completely different point, but speaking of Plus, apparently PlayStation Plus users can exclusively access little videos and tips and tricks from developers if they want to find like collectibles and trophies.
Which is a weird thing to, I think, include in that subscription, to lock behind that paywall.
I mean, I did appreciate it because honestly, and I know this is like well memed at this point, but like you'll go to a YouTube video for like a one hint for one level that requires 5 seconds of explanation and go like, "What's up, guys? It's it's so and so. I got some sriracha hot sauce in the kitchen, and my delivery is about to be here." I'm like, dude, I don't care about your like home life. Just tell me about like what's going on.
Well, I don't want to
call that out.
I don't want to take you guys off topic, but you guys don't use like power picks and PSN profiles and stuff like that for your guides and PS trophies.
I don't do a lot of guides.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Really?
I do the YouTube videos, for when I'm doing some trophies that are quite difficult, but a lot of the time I don't do.
Really?
I don't do guides.
There's tons of websites that have guides of all the trophies. Like, I will
say for the next review that I do, I'm definitely going to open it very loudly, saying "What's up, PlayStation Nation?" or something to that effect.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm done.
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Okay, well, I think we're all gonna head out because I think that about wraps it up, doesn't it?
Nice.
Unless you guys have anything else to say on the UI.
Overall, I really like it. I think I like simple. I always like simple. I always didn't like the Xbox one because it was always like a clutter. I hate clutter.
Simple and clean, even you might say.
Damn it! What? Come on, James! I can't believe you took that from me. You absolute monster. We're ending this podcast now. I was like, Seb already said simple, so no one else is gonna say simple and clean. All right, I'm over it.
I picked a few things up. Okay, but as I said,
we're rubbing off on you now. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. Hey, you know what? Really late game to what I've been playing lately, but I did actually play a little bit of the demo. Me and Seb both played some of the demo.
Melody of Memory. Yeah,
that's right.
It's gonna be like,
what'd you think of it?
I liked it okay. Again, I don't know it's worth 60, but my partner suggested we split it, which would make it 30, which I am willing to spend on. So I'm considering that heavily. She really loves it, and I do like rhythm games, and obviously, I like Kingdom Hearts.
It looks interesting.
It's actually fun, and you can make it. I played one of the songs on Proud Mode. That was one of the easier songs, and it still almost kicked my ass. Like it's a serious rhythm game, and it's not. They're not joking around.
Right.
It's especially special if you like the series because all the songs are like really recognizable and stuff, and like even like they even have like the Wonderland or like Traverse Town and things like that. Like it's not just like the pop songs. It's like the actual soundtrack to the towns.
Yes, it's not just like an excuse to have Let It Go again. They do actually have like
Go.
Wave of Darkness from 0.2, which is like such a great pick, but it's like I wouldn't have even thought of it.
Because now the Traverse Town song is stuck in my head again. Like it won't. Yeah.
Anyway, it's very cute and it's very good.
All right. Well, I believe that brings us to the end of the show. So thanks for joining us this week. We should have hopefully a gameplay reel for Ghost of Tsushima Legends going up pretty soon, as well as a review for Marvel's Avengers at some point or another this coming week.
Finally.
And I'm not sure what kind of progress you're making on it, Mitch, but eventually we'll have a preview for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War as well.
Yeah. Hopefully within the next week or so. Yeah.
Hopefully within the next week. Great. So as I say, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Ciao.
See ya. Wait. Yeah. Bye.